Hi guys, welcome to Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Today I'll be solving an Antiknight Sudoku created by Jackson Griggs. If you want to try out the Sudoku yourself, the link to solve is given in the description of the video. Do try it out and come back and watch the video. The rules are classic rules apply. Each row, column and 3 by 3 box will have digits from 1 to 9 without repetition. Additionally, digits cannot repeat at a knight's move from itself. So if you consider this cell, for example, let's say you have 7 here, then 7 cannot be in any of these green cells. So all these cells are at a knight step away from the cell in red. So digits which are at a knight step away need to be different as per this Sudoku. A knight step is nothing but 2 steps in one of the directions and 1 step in the perpendicular direction. So either in the vertical direction or in the horizontal direction you move 2 steps and then you move 1 step in the vertical direction. You can even move 1 step in the, okay, that is going to be the same, right? So these are the rules of Antiknight. So with that we'll start solving this Sudoku. Let me remove the center pencil mark. Okay. So let us start with the 2's. Maybe 2 cannot be in row 3, 2 cannot be in column 4 and 2 cannot be in this cell because it's at a knight step away, and which means that I get a corner pencil mark of 2 in these 2 cells, and which means that I'll get 2 in these 3 cells, but a 2 cannot go in this cell because it's at a knight step away. So that gives 2 in these 2 cells. And continuing on with our 2's, 2 cannot be in column 8, 2 cannot be in row 4 and 2 cannot be in this cell. So which means that 2 goes in one of these cells and that gives 2 in one of these cells using classic, and because of the knight's move we can eliminate the 2 from this cell and that gives a 2 here. So for in rest of the boxes I see lots of positions for 2's. So maybe we can look at the 3's now. 3 cannot be in column 1, 3 cannot be in row 8, which means that 3 in box 7 goes into one of these cells and that gives 3 in one of these 2 cells, and because of the 3 here you can place the 3 in this cell and the 2 here. The 2 gets pushed here and now we can place 2 in box 7, so that gives a 2 here. Now I'm just trying to look for the 2's and 3's. 3 is in row 1, row 2, which means that 3 is in one of these cells. This cell can't contain an 3 because due to classic or due to the Antiknight you can't have a 3 here. And 3 cannot be in row 5 and 3 cannot be in these 2 cells because this is at a knight step away, which means that 3 must be in these 2 cells. And in row 6 3 cannot be in this box, which means 3 must be in these 3 cells, and because of the 3 here you can remove the 3 from here. So we have locked a 2-3 pair in box 6, right? So it has a very clean solve path till now. So we can place the 2-3 here, and because you have placed 2-3 here you can eliminate the candidates 2 and 3 from this cell, right? Because if you have 2 or 3 here, then both of these cells can't take a 2 or 3, right? You can't have a 2 here because that would remove the 2 from both these cells, or the 3 here. 3 is also removed, so which means that both 2 3's are removed, so which means that 2 and 3 must be in these 3 cells in box 9, can't be here and cannot be in row 8 and also cannot be in column 8. So again we get a pair, right? A 2-3 pair here and 2-3 pair here. If this were a normal classic Sudoku, this pattern would have been a deadly pattern and the Sudoku would have been non-unique. But because this is an Antiknight Sudoku, you are allowed to have this pattern. And any more 2 and 3's that we can resolve. Okay, so an individual scan of the boxes reveals nothing. Okay, we can mark the 2 to one of these 2 cells because 2 cannot be in row 9, cannot be in row 8, 2 must be in one of these 2 cells. And now let us move on to some other digit. 4 cannot be in column 3, 4 cannot be in row 7, that gives a 4 here. And that gives 4 in one of these 2 cells using classic, and because of the Antiknight rule you can remove the 4. So that gives a 4 here. And 4 in column 2 has 2 options. These 2 cells can't be here because it's at a knight step away. 4 in box 5, I see that is pretty restricted. 4 cannot be in column 5. 4 cannot be in this cell because it's at a night step away, and 4 cannot be in this cell as well because this is at a night step away, which means that 4 has two options, these two cells. And I think you can resolve this immediately because of this 4. This 4 removes the 4 from all these cells, right? Which means that 4 in box 6 will be in one of these two cells, and that removes the 4 from here. So we get a 4 here, which means that 4 is in these cells, and that gives a 4 here. Because of the 4 pencil mark, you can get that. And now let us continue with the 4s. 4 is in one of these three cells due to classic, gets removed from here and here, so that gives a 4 here. And which in turn gives 4 in one of these two cells, and I don't think we can resolve these two 4s yet. Through some other digits, they will get forced into their cells. And now which digit do I look for? Maybe I can write some pencil marks in column 2 because I have placed 6 digits already. So the remaining digits are 5, 7, 9. Let us pencil mark them in. Okay, I see something with the 8s. 8 cannot be in these two cells, 8 cannot be in these two cells. So 8 is removed from all these cells, which means that 8 has to be in one of these two cells, and that gives 8 in one of these two cells. Okay, 8 in box 9 has only two options, can't be in these three cells due to classic. Using classic, we can eliminate all these cells as not being 8. So 8 gets to one of these two cells, and that gives 8 in one of these two cells. So unfortunately, we can't resolve these 8s now. So 8 is in row 2, 8 is in column 9. That gives 8 in one of these two cells, and that resolves this 8. So we can place the 8 now. Okay, because we have corner pencil mark 8 to one of these two cells, we can eliminate the 8 from this cell. This is the reverse idea. Normally when we write some digit here, let's say some digits, maybe 7, we eliminate 7 from these two cells. And that the reverse logic is that when you corner pencil mark a digit to these two cells, then this cell can't take that digit, because then you'll remove the possibility from both these cells. So which means that 8 must go into these two cells. 8 can't be here, 8 can't be here, so 8 goes in these two cells, and that resolves the 8 in box 3. So I think we might need to start writing candidates now, because I don't see any flow in the Sudoku now. Look at these rows, they are almost semi-filled, so we may try to write some digits there. These two cells can't be 4, 5, 8 and 2 and 3. They must be 1, 6, 7, 9, and 7 is also ruled out, so which means these two cells must be 1, 6 and 9. And because of the 1 here, I can remove the 1 from here, so that's a 6 and 9. So this cell must be 1, 5, 9, can't be a 6. And this cell can't be 1, so this must be a 5, 6 and 9. Okay, so 5 is in row 7, which means that 5 must be in one of these two cells. And this cell can't be 1, 2, 7, 4 and 8, so this has to be a 6 and 9, right? Because you have 3, 5 here, so this cell can only be 6 or a 9. Okay, this is nice. We are getting a 6, 8 pair here. 6 cannot be in this column and 6 cannot be in this row, which means that 6 must be in these two cells, and we have locked a pair now. So I can write a pair there, 6, 8, 6, 8. And these two cells must contain a 1 now, because 2, 3, 4, 6 and 8, and you have 5, 7, 9 here, so these two cells must contain a 1. Okay, this is nice, but I don't think it's really helping. If you look at this cell cannot be obviously 2, 3, 4, 6 and 8, so this must be 1, 5, 7 and 9. But you will quickly notice that it cannot be 5 and 9 as well, because if it is 5 or 9, then there is no cell left for the box 7 to take a 5 and 9, because if this is 5, 9, you remove 5, 9 from here, and due to Antiknight you also remove 5, 9 from here, which means that this cell can't be a 5 and a 9. Nice technique. So that's 1 and 7. And this must be 1, 5 and 9, because 7 is not possible. So I marked a 6 in these cells, right? And there is a 6 here, which means that 6 must go into these two cells. And using Antiknight, I can write the 6 right away. So that's not a 6, so that's a 6. And that removes the 6 from here, so that becomes 1 and 9. A really smooth Sudoku, guys. Such an enjoyable Antiknight Sudoku. One of the better ones that I've solved in quite a while. So let us continue the Sudoku now. Okay, I can eliminate the 5 from this cell. So which means that for row 5, this cell would have to be 1, 7 and 9. 5 is eliminated from there, so it's 1, 7, 9. And 1 is not in column 9, so 1 must be in one of these two cells. Wow, this is a really sharp reduction, guys, and a very nice one. So because you have corner pencil mark 1 here, you'll notice that this cell cannot take a 1. The cell marked in pink cannot take a 1 because then both of these possibilities for 1 gets removed. So this cannot be a 1. So 1 is removed from there, and the moment you do that, you will notice that there is a triplet, 5, 6, 9 triplet in row 8, and there is only one cell left for the one in row 8. Superb, guys. A really excellent Antiknight Sudoku. A really enjoyable one. So you get the 1 here, and 1 is removed from here due to the Antiknight rule. So 1 is in one of these cells, and can I remove the 1 from here? Yes, because this is at a knight step away, and that gives a 1 here. Superb. Excellent, guys. Excellent Sudoku. So because of this small logic that we used here, eliminating the 1, we got a triplet, and that gave 1 here, which in turn gives a 1 here. Due to classic, 1 is eliminated, and due to Antiknight, these two cells are eliminated as not being 1. And now 1 is in row 6, 1 is in row 5, so 1 is in one of these cells, and due to Antiknight, you can remove the 1 from here, so 1 goes here, and that gives the 3 here because we have marked 3 in one of these cells. So which means that this cell has to be a 3 now. Superb. Really superb Sudoku, guys. And 1 goes in one of these cells, and 1 has 4 options here. Okay, so these two cells must be a 5, 7 and a 9 for the row, and even these two cells must be 5, 7, 9, right? 1, 6, 8 and 2 and 3 and 4 is not possible, so they must be 5, 7, 9. Okay, at this point it's kind of tough. 1, 4, 5, 8, 2 and 3, which means that these two cells must be 6, 7 and 9. Let us write the possibilities. Okay, so 1, 5, 6, 8 and 2 and 3. For column 7, this cell must be 4, 7, 9. Are we missing something simple here? So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 8. So this can contain all possibilities. Okay, 3 is not possible here, guys, because you have a 3 here, so that's not a 3. So that is a 2, that is a 3, and that is a 3, and that is a 2. So we have resolved this unique rectangle kind of pattern using the 3 here. Nice. And now, okay, 2 is going here, which means that this cell cannot be a 2 because they are knight connected. So that becomes a 2, and that gives a 2 here. So we have placed all the 2s in the grid now. So such an engrossing and entertaining Sudoku this is, guys. A really fun solve. So what do we do next? Let us write some candidates here. 2, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5. So these two cells must be 4, 7, 9. Of course, this is not 4, so that's 7 and 9. And maybe we can write some more candidates. Okay, this cell is of very has become suddenly powerful now. Can you see why? Because this cell can't be 1, 2, 3, 8 and 4 and 6, which means that this would be 5, 7 and 9. And of course, you will notice that if you have 7 and 9 here, these three cells cannot be 7, 9. If you have a 7 here, this becomes connected using knight's move and 7 is eliminated, and similarly for 9, 9 gets eliminated from here. So which means that this cell cannot be 7 and 9. So which means that has to be a 5. So this is a really powerful cell now. 1 3 5 8 2 4 6 7 9. Okay, so let us write some candidates here. 3 4 6 2 5 8. So 1 7 and 9. Okay. So this cell cannot be 1 2 5 3 4 8. So that would have to be a 6 7 and a 9. And I think I can place the 6 here. Yes, because no, not really. 6 can't be placed there. I actually thought that 6 was in one of these two cells, but 6 could be here, right? Okay, we may use some coloring here. If you look at this cell, this green cell in this row can only go here, right? Because it can't go here and can't go here, and all these cells are and all these cells are 5 7 9. So whichever goes into this cell cannot be in these two cells, so it would have to go here. And using classic, this would also be green. Not that it's really helping. Okay, you can place the 3 here, right? You corner pencil mark 3 in one of these two cells, which means that this cell would have to be a 3. And I'll remove the corner pencil mark from here, and this has to be a 5, 6 and a 9. Okay, so 5 is in one of these two cells, which means 5 cannot go here and 5 cannot be here. So 5 is in one of these two cells, and because of classic, we get a 5 here. Super, guys. Really a narrow deduction, so that removes the 5 from here. Well, not really narrow, but kind of difficult to see, you can say. So the 6 in column 5 has only two options, only these two cells. And you can place the 6 in box 2. So 6 goes here, can't be anywhere else. And that gives a 6 here, right? Using classic, we can place the 6 here. And that removes the 6 from here, so that's a 7 and a 9. 6 must be in one of these two cells. Maybe we can corner pencil mark that, so that has to be 4 7 9. And this would have to be 7 9 for the row. 4 5 8 1 2 3 6. So this would have to be 7 9. Okay, we have marked that the green cells are equal, right? So this is 7 9, which means that this cannot be a 5. So that's 7 9 and that's 7 9. And this is interesting, guys. You'll notice that this is at a 9 step away from this cell. So which means if this is 7, that is a 9, and that is 9, that is a 7. So let us mark two different colors. So if this is green, that would be different of that. So that's yellow. And which means this would have to be green again. And this is beautiful, guys. Really beautiful. When you see such techniques in Antiknight Sudokus, nothing more satisfying than that. This is really an excellent Sudoku. So look at this cell. It is seeing both this row 2 column 3 and row 4 column 2, which means that this cell cannot be 7 or 9. Superb, right? So that is a 5, which means that's 7 9 now. And that has to be a yellow cell. And which means that you have a 7 9 pair, and that becomes a 5. And that is a 1 7 and 9. Okay, we need to watch out for these cells, guys. I'm sure that they'll be helping us a lot. So you have a 7 9 pair here, which means that this is not a 7, that's a 1, and that becomes a 5. Okay, so 2 3 6 1 4 5. So these would be 7 8 and 9. And now we can make use of this pair, guys. This cell has an effect on this cell and this cell, right? Because it's at a knight's move away. So which means that this cannot be 7 or 9. because it would remove the 7 and 9 from these cells, so that has to be 8. Superb. Which means that this is a 7 9 now, and it has to be an yellow cell, right? So 1 4 7 9 2 3 5, so which means that you have a 6 8 pair here, and because of the 8 here, I get the 8 here and the 6 here, and 6 is removed from these two cells now because of the night's move. Both these cells cannot take a 6, so which means that that becomes a 6, so that is a 5 9 pair. Superb, guys. A really stunning anti-night Sudoku, one of the best I've solved. So that becomes 8, that becomes 6, and which means that for row 8 you can place the 6 here, classic, so that's a 7 9, and because this is green, so that would be an yellow, and that is a green, right? So this is really going to help us when you notate like this. Definitely at the end it can complete the Sudoku faster. So this is 7 or 9, which means these two cells cannot be 7 or 9. So this green cell would have to go here. So that is not 1, so that's 7 9, and that becomes green. Easy, right? Because when you have 7 here, due to anti-night, it removes the 7 from her and it goes here, and similarly for the 9, 9 gets removed and it goes here. So basically these two cells are the same. And now you'll notice that using simple classic, you get the 7 9 here. Beautiful, guys. Using coloring, we are able to get a lot of information. So that's 7 9. And now we can we know the contents of this cell, right? 2 3 5 4 6 7 9. So these would be 1 and 8, and because of the 1 here, so that becomes 1 and that becomes 8, and you have a 5 9 pair. Awesome, superb. So which means that this cannot be 9 and that would have to be 7. So all the yellow cells are 7 now. 7 7 7, and the green cells are 9 now. Superb, superb, fantastic, guys. Really fantastic one. So that becomes 1 7, that becomes a 4 7. I'm just tidying up the Sudoku now. So this would have to be a 5 for the column, and these two cells would be 4 7 pair. So again we have a deadly pattern, but fortunately this is an anti-night Sudoku, so we can be confident that this would be resolved. So 2 4 5 8 9 1 3 6, so that would have to be a 7, and that gives 7 here and 1 here, and now this 7 helps resolve this 4 7 pair. So that's a 4, that's a 7, that's a 7, that's a 4, and now 3 4 6 2 7 8, so that would have to be a 9, that's a 1, that's a 5, that's a 5, and that's a 9. And with that we have completed this tremendous anti-night Sudoku created by Jackson Griggs. It had some really sweet deductions all through the solve. Hope you guys enjoyed watching me solve this Sudoku. Please hit the thumbs up button, give a like to the video, and do remember to subscribe to the channel. We hope to see you soon. Take care, you guys. Bye bye.